The Creative Europe project I was involved with was Ceramics and Its Dimensions, which explored the past, future and present of ceramics in many different contexts. And we had around 18 partners across Europe, from museums, institutions, universities. Northern Ireland's on the edge of Europe, very small country, and we are often overlooked in terms of being asked to partner in projects like this. So it was really significant that we were recognised in the field of ceramics, both in practice and research. It was really important to be able to engage with people across Europe from different cultures, backgrounds, identities, all who had a really clear interest in ceramics and what it has been and what it could be. It introduced me to many different ways of working and different people and cultures that I probably wouldn't have had the chance to if this project hadn't been in place. The project ran over about 4 years. So every twice a year, each partner would host a meeting in their home country. And it was about 3 days of really intensive planning, meetings, reflecting back on what we'd done. Each partner led a module, so we were reporting on what we were doing. I have made really good friends I'm still in touch with, who I probably would never in a lifetime have met before had it not been for this opportunity. I think it also gave me confidence to work within the European context. Perhaps Northern Ireland, we don't get that opportunity as many times as the other parts of the UK. There are two really significant memories, and perhaps these are outside of the scope of sitting in a meeting room talking about what ceramics can be. Outside Helsinki, when we went to Finland, and Aalto University were hosting us. So on the final day in the schedule, our final meeting was in the sauna, which is it's a very different cultural experience coming from Northern Ireland, that the last meeting will be in the sauna. But I thought, why not? We're in Finland. This is what people do here. I will never ever get this experience again. So in the middle of the snow, in the middle of the night, well, it felt like the night, it was so dark. We walked up to a separate building that had the sauna. And at one point we were guided very much through by our Finnish hosts. And they said, you have to go in here and get as hot as you can and put your towel on, and you're going to go outside. And we've cleared a path in the darkness down to the lake where they had cut a hole in the water for us, and you had to dip yourself in and then go back into the sauna. And this was the ritual that they go with, and it really, you could feel your shoulders drop. But the biggest thing out of that experience was just learning and bonding with the other people I was with, because many of us were doing it for the first time. We were all supporting each other. We were all going, come on, you can do this. Wrapping towels around each other and going back in. And that, I know in my lifetime, I was very unlikely to do that. So that was a real bonus in bringing us all together. One of the meetings was in Ilmenau in Germany. And on the final night, because everybody tries to do something culturally significant to where they are or their culture. So we walked up the hill to the luge track, which is basically lying on a tray with wheels that goes down a very steep slide. But it's also the track where Olympic medal winners train on. So we all did that and got frightened, but did it again. And it was a real sort of confidence building moment as well, that everybody was there supporting. We'd worked together for a number of years by that point, so we all felt very comfortable in supporting each other through that. So nothing to do with ceramics, but very much an experience that we never would have had it not been for that project. So one of the really important aspects of the programme was about legacy and about promoting the future of ceramics in our emerging makers, because yes, we'll reflect back on what happens in museums and we'll look at what universities are doing, but it was really important that we support and encourage the next generation of makers. So every year there was a competition called Future Lights in ceramics. So I was one of the judges on that panel. So it was an open application across all European universities, and we had a really amazing wealth of applicants. The panel consisted of a number of us from across different areas in ceramics. The applicants had to make a presentation, show us their work, actually bring their work with them so we could see that. They got to know each other, they travelled across Europe and found similarities. Then the 6 Future Lights were supported by Portsellanicon, who headed the project, and they got to do a trade fair. They got introduced to different mentors, and it was a really I followed many of the Future Lights since, and they are still working together and collaborating and exhibiting together, and they're still making, which in this world right now is is quite significant, that even from 4, 5, 6 years ago when we did Future Lights, they are still making with a purpose. It provides opportunities for makers, researchers, artists, designers from parts of the world that might never get that chance. It's never more difficult to become a named partner in these bids now because of the situation we're in. And that, frankly, is so disappointing because there's so much potential and talent in our part of the world that will get overlooked. And it's not because of the people, it's because of the process. And I think that's such a shame.